Hi there, everyone. Today I'm looking at Super Mario 64. Woohoo! I can't help but do that. Gosh, what can I even say about this game? Except that it's considered the Mario game, like this is the best Mario game. And it's funny because around this time, Nintendo was pulling all of their stuff into 3D from Zelda and Mario and everything. And this was their flagship title, so they had to kind of get this right. And so what is it about Mario 64 that makes it a classic game? I think it's just generally easy to get your head around the controls. It just feels very good to move Mario around. The way he jumps, the way he falls, the way he interacts with the environment, the music, the early 3D, the presentation, everything about this game just kind of comes together and works really, really well. The fact you have all these kinds of secrets, little hidden coins and tricks and whatnot, it just feels really, really cool, really, really fun. And it's Mario. I don't know what else to say. It's weird though because I'm conflicted on which Mario game is my favorite because they all kind of are the same level of quality, which is like, oh, this is very good and soulful and whatever, but nothing that I would say is, I don't know, really outstanding and gripping. Like I kind of need a story in my games, honestly, for me to fully immerse myself and appreciate them. But Mario 64, it has this energy to it of just, going around, exploring a world, exploring all these things within it. And this is the game that also popularized the whole going into the painting to get into the level thing. So that's very much, this. And, what is the story? Peach writes Mario letters saying, hey, well, I made a cake for your birthday or something, or my birthday, and come over to the castle. And he comes there and she's been kidnapped by Bowser. Shocking, right? And so you basically go through the the world in the castle. You find the paintings, you go into the paintings, and you find other things that allow you to basically get the stars. And as you get more stars, you can unlock more different parts of the castle and get closer to getting Peach, basically. And so really this is more of you could think of this more as a tech demo in early 3D. Now this was considered the best that we could get for our technology, how things would adapt and change, but this is the beginning of early 3D and how it functioned. And so, you can make Mario crouch and jump and long jump and backwards jump and do a triple jump. And, kind of this really set the basis and the standards for pretty much every platformer. I now know there's even newer games now like Hat in Time and Demon Turf that are basically just taking the same or similar mechanics that this game established and just bringing them a step further. And I don't know, there's just something extremely charming and simple about this game. All the simple backgrounds and whatnot, people reading into conspiracies about what the symbolism in the game means and all this other kind of stuff. But yeah, basically it's interesting how it works, and maybe in my opinion a little bit frustrating in the sense that when you enter a level you can only get this specified star usually, and then once you get that star you move on to the next star, so you go into the same level again, and I think there's 8 stars roughly per level. And once you get, again, 1 star, you can progress to the next one. However, what's I think just a little frustrating or unfair about it is the fact that certain stars, when you select them from the level select screen, it will change the topography of the level, so you can only get that specific star, or it shows something has changed in time to make it different. So unlike games like Banjo-Kazooie, where you can just get everything no problem, you have to load out of the level to get that specific star. And they still exist there as shadows, which is nice, so you can remember exactly what you had to do to get them. Also, each level has 8 coins within them that you can basically find and acquire, and that'll get you another star no matter what. And this game also has a life system, so if you run out of lives, it's game over basically, and you basically are kicked out to the front of the castle, but you don't actually lose all your stars and start from the very beginning. Nintendo isn't that insane for this era. There are bosses in this game that are fairly simple. They usually take 3 hits of hitting them a certain way or waiting for them to attack and going around. This game was really kind of developed in mind for kind of children to play, but also accessible to adults. And there are definitely some things in this game that are questionably just difficult, very, very difficult, that shouldn't be that hard, and they are. So, for example, like not Rainbow Road, but the Rainbow level in this game is just stupidly, ridiculously difficult. The fact that you're riding on this rainbow carpet on this like track, and if you fall off, you just die, and it goes on for quite a while. But yeah, there's just so many little things and quirks and interesting little dynamics and things built into this game that are so interesting that I still watch videos about it 20 years after this game came out, simply because they're just, everyone has played it, everyone's familiar with it. This is basically a gamer's rite of passage. If you haven't played Mario 64, it's kind of like people will give you the side eye, maybe. It's just a fundamental video game-esque game. Like, this is the Mario game. This is the video game. And whether you hate it or dislike it, you've at least tried it, is the implication. So yeah, required reading, required gaming, essentially. And yeah, the game is still fun today. There are definitely some very difficult, frustrating levels, but that's not super, important in the grand scope of things, because they're not the majority. What's also very cool is you can tell they put a lot of passion to Mario as a 3D model. Same thing they did with Link for Legend of Zelda. He has custom idle animations. Something that really freaked me out is in the snowman level. If you fall down headfirst in the snow, you can actually lose your cap, and I'm like, oh my god, how do I get it back? But you just walk up to it and pick it up, which is I don't know, pretty crazy to me. Pretty interesting that they put that amount of attention to detail in this kind of game. And yeah, I think another thing that really shines out about Mario games in general are the sound effects. And the sound effects in this game are no exception. Like the iconic Mario jumping, coin collecting, the bomb bombs exploding. Like, I can hear them just by looking at the images of them. They're just so very iconic and distinct. Another cool thing are the upgrades you can get in this game. Things like the wing cap and the metal cap. The wing cap, if you do a triple jump, which is kind of hard to pull off if you're an early gamer, is essentially something that allows you to fly through the sky. It's a lot of fun, and I remember doing it as a kid. It felt really, really fun and really cool. And the fact when you have to swoop down in order to get more speed or air, essentially, to fly higher. And with the metal cap, you get a very groovy track that plays, and as Metal Mario, you're kind of more impervious to damage, and you're able to essentially, you're able to like run into enemies, go through certain boxes, break certain objects, and it's very much just built as this 3D game experience, which is just super deep and dynamic and fun. And that's really the the aspect of this game is fun. But yeah, the amount of video essays and glitch compilations and speed runs, and the Mario 64 speed running community and techniques in and of itself are honestly fascinating. And the fact that I'm not a speedrunner, I'm never going to speedrun anything, but I did find it interesting that the one time I did try a speedrun technique, the backwards long jump, or as I like to call it, butt rushing, I was actually able to pull it off, and I felt like, oh, that was actually kind of cool that I actually did the thing that I saw in all the videos of these people breaking the game. Yeah, just really cool stuff. I know so many people have played this game and poured over it and broken it and exploited every aspect of it. That is just really interesting and just, again, mandatory to almost play, because it's just so many people have seen it and reviewed it and fallen in love with it that I think it's just, again, an amazing kind of treasure. Also, something that always perplexed me is that for a game for people who, for kids that might not still be at a reading level, all the massive cursive text that's really hard to read that pops up on screen, I always thought felt very out of place. It was like, okay, I can barely even read that as an adult. So as a kid, I don't even know how they're supposed to do that. It's just hard font to read, frankly. But yeah, like a lot of iconic Mario songs, themes. This was the definition of a lot of people's childhood, and it's just easy to see why. It's just filled with so much soul and invigoration and design and passion baked into it. And there's really nothing else really to say about it. Like it's the Mario game, and you're gonna bing bing, and you're gonna wahoo, and you're gonna like it. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much this video. I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye.